So heading into the start of the playoffs, I picked the Baltimore Ravens to win it all, and this is exactly why. Against the Steelers, they ran the ball for just an absurd 299 rushing yards. The only reason they didn't hit 300 was because the last play of the game, Lamar kneeled it down. But how do you stop these two guys? Derrick Henry, 26 for 186 with two touchdowns. That 44-yard run he had, the only reason Henry was able to score was because the linebacker in the middle shifted to his right, assuming Lamar was going to keep it. He didn't, and Henry had a wide open hole up the middle. The offensive line was phenomenal. Lamar, he ended up only taking one sack, and it really wasn't even the line's fault. Lamar just kind of held on to it, was looking for something down the field, and it wasn't there. This Ravens team is as complete as I've ever seen it in this era, of course, with Harbaugh and Jackson. They've got the elite running back now. The weapons have done a great job of getting open. I mean, people don't realize Ravens receivers get open better than any other team in the league. And absolutely, it's because of the run game, but that's just the benefit of it. Isaiah Likely had three catches, Mark Andrews had two, Bateman had two, Aguilar had that 25-yard catch. Tylan Wallace ended up having a 21-yard catch, mostly a special teams guy. But once this team gets Zay Flowers back, that's going to be exactly what they need to be able to get it done. He's going to be their guy that stretches out the field. This run game, though, it just looks unstoppable right now. The defense is playing well. Only 14 points allowed. 14 of them came in the third quarters. That means for three quarters, the Steelers were held scoreless. Russell Wilson just wasn't able to get much done. He did have statistically a good game, 270 yards and two touchdowns, no turnovers as well. But just Russ was under a ton of pressure, was sacked four times. Steelers receivers had a tough time getting open just because of the rush. I mean, we saw George Pickens have 87 yards, did push off a couple of times that I thought should have been called, had that touchdown. But I mean, the next closest guy to Pickens was Najee Harris with three catches for 41 yards. The Steelers, they had lost four in a row coming into this. They've now lost five. The Ravens understood that these are just two totally different teams, but that's the significance of getting the 3 seed in your conference is that you're going up against the 6 seed, and normally the 6 seed is still a playoff team, but it's just not a team that is going to be on your level, and the Ravens easily took care of business. But what's going to be the biggest challenge is going to be the next 2 weeks, and then it's only going to get more difficult. The Ravens now have to go to Orchard Park in Buffalo and take on the Bills. And then they're going to have to probably take on the Chiefs. I mean, the Texans very well could win that game, but even if the Texans do win, the Ravens absolutely smoked them a couple of weeks ago. But still, I mean, the NFL is just such a difficult league to go out there and to get a championship. I mean, every sport is, but just NFL, we just don't see a lot of all-time greats even be able to get a Super Bowl. And Lamar Jackson doesn't want to fall into that category because he's about to win his third MVP, and he is only 28 years old. And people forget that. Lamar's been in the league since 2018. He's only 28 years old. He's got a lot of football left, but this is his best opportunity to go out there and to get it done. It's going to be awesome seeing the two best players in the world go up against each other in Lamar and Josh Allen this weekend. But until then, the Ravens, they're going to be looking at the film and realizing that the Bills right now, man, they're just playing some high level football. It's going to be a defensive game, in my opinion. It's going to be whose defense cannot play the other. And the Ravens, I mean, Lamar only had to throw the ball 21 times, 175 yards, two touchdowns. Of course, Lamar with his legs goes out there and gets 81 yards. Against the Bills, though, this team's definitely going to be a little bit more balanced. I mean, they ran it 50 times. It's insane. I can't remember the last time I saw a team run the ball 50 times. I mean, the Ravens just, they were just having their way. I mean, they had a game plan and they followed it, but the Bills are a much better team. And we're going to see who Lamar really is. You're on the road taking on who a lot of people think is the MVP. And this is his chance to go out there and to prove that he's the best in the game. And I'm super excited about it too. I'd love to see Lamar go out there and get a Super Bowl. But just this defense, I mean, collectively, just where it was at the beginning of the year compared to where it is now, the Ravens really struggled at stopping the pass. And although they gave up a good amount of yards, they kept everything in front of them. Of course, with Pickens and with Mike Williams one-on-one, they're going to win some contested catches one-on-one down the field, but it didn't hurt the Ravens. And just the Steelers, they punted a lot. I mean, how many times did the Steelers punt in this game? They ended up going out there and punting, let's see, 5 times. I mean, only one more than the Ravens, but the Steelers just weren't able to get the ball down the field. And because the Steelers as well, you look at their run game, they ended up rushing the ball 11 times for 29 yards, which means that they were forced to be one dimensional and they were in third logs. And the reason why you only see 30 pass attempts from, I guess technically Fields threw one out of bounds, threw it away. But you look at Russ, he threw the ball 29 times. You'd think he would have thrown it way more, but the Ravens, because they were running the ball so well, they just dominated time of possession and they kept it away from the Steelers. And that's actually something, now that I'm thinking about it, they're going to want to do against the Bills is, in order to beat Josh Allen, I think the only way to beat Josh Allen is to take the football out of his hands as much as possible. And that's why the Ravens, to me, are the best overall in football, man. I mean, I know the Chiefs and the Lions, people are going to cry and complain in the comments that, hey, look, these teams are a little bit better. But the Ravens, I mean, nobody runs it like them. Their defense is playing well. They've got, in my opinion, the best player in the world, Lamar Jackson. And you've got guys stepping up like Mark Andrews, of course, and Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers should be good to go this weekend. If he doesn't play, I mean, it will hurt for sure, but I still think the Ravens are going to be able to get it done. And even if they're forced to throw a little bit more than they'd like, it's Lamar Jackson. I mean, he had the third highest passer rating ever in a single season. Tom Brady's best year was probably, what, 2007? Lamar had a higher passer rating, and that doesn't include rushing. Lamar rushed for, what, 1,000 yards this season, just about. I don't know how many he rushed for, but it was pretty close to 1,000. So this is a guy who highest passer rating, throws for 4,172 yards, 41 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, second in QBR. And the only reason Lamar, if he doesn't win MVP, is going to be because Josh Allen won one more game. Now, obviously, Week 18, he only came out there for one snap to keep his consecutive start streak going, and they lost to the Pats. But still, I look at MVP, and to me, it's the best player in the game, and that's Lamar Jackson. It should go to the best player, and Lamar's just done things we've never seen before. Josh Allen absolutely had that 2 seed, but he wasn't even the 1 seed. Like, if the Bills were the 1 seed, I'd get it, but they're not even the 1 seed. So yeah, my money and my vote is definitely going to Lamar Jackson. And it's just funny because he didn't really have to do that much. It was just all Derrick Henry. Now, I thought Lamar did an amazing job as always of just buying time and making something out of nothing. But this was the Derrick Henry game and this was the defense. But I do expect against the Bills and then probably against the Chiefs. And then after that, maybe the Lions, who really knows, it's going to be all Lamar Jackson. He's going to have a chance to go out there and to do something great. And I just can't wait because you have to think about it, man. I mean, people are going to look back one day on Lamar Jackson, decades down the line and be like, I wish I could have seen him play. And they're going to be asking us, the young kids are going to be asking us about what it was like to see Lamar play. But nobody's really going to talk much about him unless he wins a Super Bowl. And even if he has to win multiple Super Bowls, I mean, one Super Bowl would definitely be good, but I think Lamar has the opportunity to win a lot. But of course, he's got to focus on the Bills and then go from there. But this is a guy who he's got everything in play to do that. He is on the road, but still, you've got to like what you have around you with Derrick Henry in this defense. Now it's just about Lamar making plays, and it just doesn't seem like he has to do as much as before. That's kind of my point. Is when have we seen a playoff game where Lamar was just handing the ball off and his defense was being elite? I mean, man, if Lamar is on, which I think he will be, this team's gonna be unbeatable, man. But yeah, guys, Swaggy, I'm out. Peace.